Good Lord. I don't think I need it to be that high. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. All right, yeah, I don't need it to be that high. That's great. This is perfect. See, you can even see my. I'm winning the poo tonight. But I know this is a very impromptu live stream. But I definitely wanted to talk about the show, just some things going on in my personal life. Nothing bad at all. Just some changes. So, but somebody reached out to me on X and said, when was I going to do my next live? And I told them that I was going to do it tonight, and I wanted to honor what I said to them. I believe their name is Sharon. So I hope Sharon sees this, and thank you for reaching out. I definitely appreciate that. But I hope everyone is having I hope everyone's doing well. I know there's a lot of things going on in life and politics, especially. Whew. So I hope everyone is doing well. And so with all that going on, I wanted to talk about the show because what is going on? I may not see the comments as well. My laptop is DOA right now because my charger broke. So if I don't get to your comments, my apologies. But we'll just wait a few seconds just in case anybody else wants to join. But did anybody see that they switched out the actor who played Jack Brennan and they replaced him with another actor? What? I was still trying to get into Carly and Brennan, but they were a huge success. They finally just kissed and connected, and then all of a sudden today there's a brand new guy playing Jack. What? They know Jason will blow the town up if he finds out about Sam being unalived. Hey, Monique, he needs to know. But that was shocking. Do you know that the recast for Brennan is hey, Rose, most of the OGs leaving? And when you say most of the OGs leaving, do you mean Michael? Like, who else? Do you consider Chad Duels Michael an OG? Also, them doing that recast with Brennan was the best kept secret. I mean, they kept it all the way until we watched today's episode and was just surprised by it. But they couldn't keep the fact that Kelly Monaco was going to leave the show a secret like they wanted to, and they couldn't keep Michael's blow up explosive moment a secret. But y'all can keep this a secret? Okay. I hate that Sam was killed off. Maybe they should have recast it. Hey, Vitra, her with Lindsay. I used to say that because Lindsay Hartley actually made Sam alive again, where Kelly Monaco's portrayal of the character kind of just wandered off. And and we know that the writing was a huge problem and something that Kelly even addressed. So maybe she just wasn't into it either after a while. But Lindsay Hartley definitely still, even with the bad writing, she was more alive than Kelly Monaco was. Michael is coming back in April. Oh, you do? Thank you. When it comes to Sam and Jason, I am perturbed because it seems as though we are well on our way to having yet another story where Jason is pretending to be the father of someone else's baby. And I'm just, what are your opinions on that? But I'm just like, you all cannot be more innovative when it comes to Jason. There's nothing else. Hopefully maybe this is just temporary and the two of them don't give into this. However, Sasha did not clearly tell Maxie that Jason is not the father of her baby. Why would you not clarify that? Why? You don't want to involve the father, so you say, but girl, don't that was infuriating. I know this is meant to cause more drama, but she got on my nerves in that moment. Don't like the potential rehash. I certainly don't. I hate that for Jason. Give him a real love interest. He's had no storyline since he's been back, and it's been a year. Yes, Miss LL Shady Gal. I feel you on that. I'm over here like, what is happening? For me, if Jason is going to be a part of the story in any way, I'm like, why can't he just be a family support person within the Q family? You know, why can't he be Uncle Jason to Sasha? and great uncle Jason to the baby. There's nothing wrong with that. But I guess we will have to see. But a lot of the fan predictions are happening, or at least what the writing on the wall that the fans are seeing is actually what's playing out. Sasha doesn't want people to know Michael is the father, but when the rumor about Jason being the father, she didn't say yes or no. She didn't. She left it completely open for interpretation. And Monique, do you think that's helpful, or do you think that's going to cause more harm, or do you think that's going to end up having people zero in on the fact that Michael is the father? This will be interesting because I know Drew might say something out his mouth, but Michael and Sasha haven't been together for a while, and no one at this point should be putting together that the two of them did anything. Cody Bell, what the heck, sir? I'm sorry. I think you need a job at the Invader as a gossip columnist. That's exactly what Cody needs to do. He's wandering around town without a purpose. Go work for the Invader because, sir, when I tell you be spilling tea, you be spilling tea. And then you don't even be spilling the correct teas. Like, what? That isn't Sasha your cousin? Why would you sit and go behind your cousin's back to your other cousin and talk shit that you don't even know is true? You salty. You just so damn salty. But yet we're supposed to believe that he hasn't told Dante after all these years that Brooklyn was pregnant. That is the biggest rewrite slap in the face to us fans I've ever seen in recent times. I think the worst rewrite that y'all tried to pull over on us was when y'all tried to make us believe that Anna Devane slept with Cesar Faison and got pregnant with Peter August. That was just terrible. But this right here is recent. This, if you all remember, there's a clip that's on X where Cody met Brad and Brooklyn for the first time. Brooklyn did not know who Cody was. But now we're supposed to believe they were all cool and they went to summer camp and all of this. All right. Okay. Cody is still too hurt that they can't be together. He has every right to be, because it's just interesting that they took this path with the two characters. Very interesting that they decided to blow them up. And we've all been speculating as to why. She doesn't want Sunny involved in the child's life, but have no problem letting people know Jason is the father. Thank you, Monique. The logic. We appreciate that comment. But it's just a very interesting route that they decided to take the characters. It definitely still produces story, but it seems as though they did not want Sasha and Cody to have this baby. They didn't want Cody to be a father, and I don't know. I think, of course, this is far messier than if Cody and Sasha were to have a child. But it seems as though they were very hot and cold when it came to Sasha and Cody. Sasha and Cody, interestingly enough, it was like they never got to go, it was always kind of like teasing us with them really being official. And then finally, when they start to bridge that gap, it just kind of blew up. I actually really feel bad for Cody. Really thought him and Sasha could make it, and she turns out to be his cousin allegedly. We don't want a redo of Tammy and Jonathan from Guiding Light. That is a great point. So he has every right to be devastated. I just need him to fact check, because he is quite a gossip king, okay? But I don't know. I just need him to fact check, because that's it can be dangerous. What Monique just said. Sasha wants to keep the baby safe. So if anything, her first move should have been to create as much distance between herself and Michael's, criminal side of the family. And to do that, she should have just said no. We also had Emma overhear the conversation, and she's just eating it up. Emma and their family. That's her aunt. That's her aunt, isn't it? Yeah, Sasha is Emma's aunt. And now Sasha's talking about she's gonna tell her mom, and her Robert's gonna hear about this. I do like scenes with Emma and Gio, though. I do. Emma, it's very unexpected who she has grown to be come. But I do enjoy that she makes Anna more fun. It was cute when Anna was sitting there doing that. I can't even do that, Anna. I can't even do that, girl. What the Rose said, what's wrong with her? Let me see. I disagree because he may have thought Brooklyn miscarried in her teenage years or didn't know she gave the baby up for adoption. Cody was not the person to tell Dante that Brooklyn was pregnant. I'm just surprised that with him going around being so talkative that he didn't say anything. I still am, but I guess he can keep something to himself, clearly, for all that long. But folks, we were laughing because we were just like, oh man, it didn't take him long to tell that secret. But it wasn't really a secret. There was no that's interesting. Like you said, he couldn't speculate what he didn't know what happened with Brooklyn and the baby. So there was nothing to tell. But in this instance, it has to be straight up hurt because nothing was verbally confirmed that Jason was the father. So he's just going off of pure speculation. So that part is a little disappointing. I mean, the man did keep the fact that Mac was his father's secret for damn near 2 years when motivated. He can't shut up his mouth. Cody is just really hurt right now, lashing out. Hey, Sabrina. So we'll see, but at least Selena Woo is back in the picture. I just want to see some different kind of movement for Cody because he did have Sasha. He finally came out with Mac, but I feel like for quite some time, Cody has been in a slump, especially when it comes to his aspirations and financial stuckness. You know, he does have a job. He drinks and he gambles because that's another thing. Cody's been doing that lately, and I feel like he's been in a slump. I'm not sure where this is going with Selena Woo, but I'm glad to see her back on our screens. I enjoy her, and I would like to see her in scenes with Brad as well. Maybe they might one day expand on the Woo family and Brad as well. But I'm glad to see her back on our screen for some reason, especially when you think about the fact that Sunny and Jason were talking about, an exit strategy. I wonder if Selena Woo might be a part of that. Maybe even Sidwell. We still have no real leads or movement in the investigation in regards to who planted the bomb at Sunny's house. That's very slow moving and kind of has been put in the back because there's so much going on. Now, Jason Morgan, before we move completely off of the Sasha thing, do you all think that Sasha gave too much information with the Quartermaines? I am glad that she stood her ground because the last time I checked, she was hired to be a cook. But it seems as though Tracy has assigned every role in the house to this woman, including maintenance woman or pest control. She is a cook? Why would you want the cook going after a mouse and then you want her touching on your food? Girl, Tracy. Sasha had every right. I just wasn't expecting her to spill the whole tea. However, for plotline and story purposes, I understand because Jason had to hear it in order for him to put the pieces of the puzzle together, because they very much want Jason clearly involved in this story and not involved in what's going on with Sam. But they can't contain that forever. But Jason. Yeah, Sasha's doing a whole lot, isn't she? I think they're going to pair Cody with Molly. They did have some chemistry. And I don't know any other woman right now on canvas besides Lulu. When his initial meeting with Lulu when she was in the car, that was cool. But I don't know how Dante would feel about that. That would be messy. But Cody and Molly did. Before I move on, Jason, since when are you a gossip? And I say that because I was annoyed by Jason's pushiness. I'm not gonna lie, this time around when it came to Sasha, and because I just wasn't. I know that this isn't Jason's nature, but that doesn't always make it right or okay, because really this isn't his business. All right, this is not his business, but he loves Michael, so we know that he's gonna do whatever he can to protect Michael. My whole thing is that what would you do if Sasha was lying? What if Sasha was being dishonest? And what would you do? Would you take legal action against her or something? Like, I mean, like what would you do? Michael, like, this is the reason why Sasha wants the baby to herself, and I can understand. I could definitely clearly see that now, because it's like I would be annoyed if somebody came in my face and like with Jason's energy like that, especially because Sasha and Jason, they don't know each other, and she's fairly new to Port Charles. Maybe she's heard in passing, but she doesn't have personal experience with him. But I would feel uncomfortable, like, back off. I don't owe you anything. This is my child. Like, even like Michael is the father. If I have to deal with anybody in regards to this baby, it's supposed to be him, not you. So I was a bit from I was turned off by it, especially because we've had this story with Jason many times. Now, the first time, he really kind of was, it was thrown on him. He didn't know. He really didn't know what was gonna happen. He just took Carly in, and it unfolded from there. When it came to Sam, I definitely understood his passion about Sunny needing to know the truth from Sam, because he lost his child with Courtney. He didn't know Courtney was pregnant. Courtney, I believe, ended up getting taken hostage by Lorenzo Alcazar, and in her attempt to escape, she jumped off the boat. I think she started swimming, and I believe that the temperatures caused her to miscarry. So Jason was very passionate about Sunny knowing he was the father. It's kind of ironic, considering that he was very passionate about keeping AJ from knowing about AJ being Michael's father. So it's a very fine line, but two different time periods. And I think to this day, I don't think Jason regrets what he did to AJ. I think he regrets how his actions affected Monica, and how Monica didn't get to be a grandparent to Michael like she wanted to. I think he has regret about that, because I think that's one of the main reasons why he stood his ground against Sunny, in that moment with Tracy, because he didn't want to break Monica's heart again. But anyhow, Jason told Sasha specifically that he was not going to tell anyone else that Michael was the father of Sasha's baby. And I had to go back and watch the scenes just to be sure, because I was very shocked that after he got done talking to Sasha, that he went to Diane and he told Diane. Now, granted, and what's very different between Cody's loose lips and Jason is that Jason does have the benefit of Diane being bound by a client confidentiality agreement. However, it's just usually when Jason says and gives you his word about something, you can trust that. If I were Sasha and I were to later find out that Diane knows this bit of information that Jason promised he wouldn't tell anyone else, I wouldn't be so trusting of Jason from that point forward. And that's just me personally, because I don't know him. We as the audience members, we've watched Jason. But I didn't like that. I was like, Jason, since when? I don't care about all that. You gave this woman your word that you would shut your mouth. I didn't like that. And that's just my personal opinion on that. But moving off of that part of it, so it has been confirmed since the last time, and we all saw the writing on the wall for this one, that indeed Dante was the father. To be fair, Diane needs to be prepared for the possibility that the truth comes out and it could hurt Michael in the custody of his other kids. I hear you, Tess. I can't get behind it, because he gave her his word. I can't get behind it. He should have told Sasha then, because Sasha was honest with him to the best of her ability, and she even told Jason that she did not want to jeopardize Michael and his custody with his kids, so she wanted to keep it a secret. Jason should have told her, I'm going to share this with Diane, so she's prepared. He should have told her. She has every right to know if somebody knows what's going on. Now she's walking around thinking that Jason's the only one who knows, along with Michael, and that's not the truth. That's dishonest. So hopefully the next time Jason does see Sasha, we'll see if he is upfront and he lets Sasha know that he confided in his attorney, because that would be the right thing to do. Also, Jason did tell Diane that if Sasha needed anything to give it to her. I was only confused by that because how would Sasha know to come to Diane for anything? So he should have that conversation with her. But we all know that she can trust Jason. I think I'm a little thrown off because this particular situation seems to be keeping him away from what's going on with Sam. Now, finally, last week, Alexis was made aware that Sam was murdered. I was sitting there wondering for the longest time, when are they going to tell her? But through the comments and the conversations with other fans, we all figured, you said Jason been around Carly too long. We all figured that with what's going on with people being killed with the digitalis, that you said Diane also feels some type of way about Sasha's mother, but Jason is clueless about Diane's life. He really is. But Anna knows about it. Dante learned the news. And I believe Anna did the right thing by placing him on leave. This is emotional. I don't believe you need to be on this case, Dante. A lot of people were wondering maybe he needs counseling because he has endured a lot when you think about it. Lulu's health crisis, wondering if she's going to make it, trying to take care of Rocco, who's affected by this, losing his, Sam, who was his biggest support, his partner, his fiance. They had, the family dynamic has shifted. They've moved from their home and now they're living at the Quartermains. Lulu is back, trying to navigate those feelings with Lulu while trying to respect and honor Sam, and then feeling the guilt that she's dead because of this wonderful thing that she did. So maybe because it's sideways. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I could change the settings because it's up and down. I don't know. Sorry, Eba. But Dante, it would be good to see him have some counseling scenes because there's more to come in Dante's life because he is the father. And clearly from the direction it's going, Lois hasn't said it, but that is Gio, especially in those scenes where Sasha, admitted to the family that she's pregnant and that she wants to raise this child on her own. Gio has said that he was raised with his mother and he didn't have his dad and he turned out all right. And Brooklyn looked at him with such admiration, and Lois looked like, oh Lord, Lois. Before we get too deep in that topic, back up to Sam's death, I wonder how they're going. Well, we know that Lucky and Elizabeth have been on this. Also, Jocelyn has called out Cyrus Renault, which was unhelpful in the situation because she gave him information. So I am still surprised that Elizabeth hasn't reached out to Jason at all, but I think it's because she's confiding in Lucky. So, but usually, especially like this show, she'd usually reach out to Jason, about Sam. So that was something that I thought was curious. But again, she's probably caught up. And then Alexis, I was annoyed that she told Diane not to tell him. I can't recall if she told Sunny the same thing. But I was like, Alexis, Jason was with you. He was with you when it happened. He was the one who said, I will tell the kids. And you could tell your daughters. So somebody said it earlier. I believe it was Lady LL. But maybe it's because she's afraid of what Jason might do. But don't you want revenge? Jason will move heaven and earth to figure out who did it. and bring them to their daggone knees. So seem to kick with Jason around. Yeah, don't they? Dante should have been told the whole truth, though, not just about Sam, but Dex and the attempt on Michael as well. Yeah, they all should be told the whole truth. I still say that a great storyline, if they were willing to go there, is the hospitals should be sued to in order for them to up their security. If I were Alexis, not only would I be furious with the murder of my daughter and wanting to find who murdered her, but also I would want to hold General Hospital responsible for their lack of security measures. This person is still on the loose. Does Alexis, I have to go back and watch, but does Alexis know that this has happened multiple times? So I really believe that the hospital should be sued, because there is no excuse for why anybody can walk on any floor without having some type of visitor's badge. They used to have visitors badge, didn't they? But like the hospital where I go to downtown, Natasha's coming out, Cyrus better watch out. The hospital where I go to downtown, you can't even enter into the emergency room without getting checked out. You certainly can't. So so Cyrus shouldn't even be able to get through the doors, especially after Portia banned him, and he still found a way to get inside and try to harm Michael. How did he get past security? What way is he getting into the hospital? And I still find it hard to believe that there's absolutely no camera angles to show anything. It's just baffling. Baffling. The next victim is Brad. Oh, Brad went off, and I still say bravo to him. Brad is a mess. He certainly is. But I absolutely loved that tongue lashing he gave to Cyrus Renault in front of his fellow colleagues. Another question, and I guess we'll move on back to Gio and the whole paternity thing. Oh Lord, I think I lost what I was gonna say. Sabrina, grab it. Oh, it's gone. Let's move on. Lois. I wonder how the truth will affect Lois and Brooklyn's relationship. How much you want to bet Cyrus is getting a whodunit? Priscilla's Dragon Balls? I hope I said that right. A lot of folks is hoping Drew will get a whodunit. But it would be cool to see Cyrus get a whodunit. I guess, because he does have a lot of people on that list. A lot of people. Oh, and I remembered what I was going to ask. Where is TJ Ashford? He works at the hospital. He at least can be in the background. He at least should have some hospital things to do. At least can we see this man moving on and dealing with his grief over losing his unborn child and losing his longtime partner, Molly. He should be establishing some friendships with his coworkers. There are things to do with TJ to make him a likable character that we could root for. We see Molly interacting in her work environment. We see her interacting with her family. We even see her, being, she was chem tested with Dex. We saw her having chemistry with Isaiah. We see her having chemistry with Cody. I mean, they are giving to Molly, but TJ is nowhere in sight. And I think they've completely given up on TJ. Very disappointing, because I pointed out, I said the show has a history. The show has a history of putting characters of color on the back burner when they're no longer with their white counterparts. That's not always the case, because Trina, it took a while, but it seems as though they are committed into investing in Trina. So that's good. And also, there's some opinions about that, and we'll get to it. But TJ, they've given up on him. You think TJ's first baby lived? They do that a lot. Just have characters be written out, never on screen. Yeah, TJ's just gone. Also, another interesting point, when Christina had the opening to Charlie's, Jordan was there, Alexis. They were both sitting at the bar together, and they did not at all discuss Jordan's grievance with Alexis and her part and everything. Granted, that might not have been the time at the opening, but I just realized that I think that they've moved on, and the Ashfords side of this and TJ's perspective and pain on this particular subject is not going to be acknowledged nor explored or written out or acted out whatsoever. They're just going to keep going in that direction. And I want to say, Christina, you're still on my shit list. I'm on team Ava. Ava, why can't Ava and Sunny come to some balanced agreement over this child? I am sick. This is the longest custody battle. Oh my God. How old is Avery? She's going to be 20 years old, and the two of you still haggling over that damn child. I hope she emancipates herself, because I'd be sick of both of you. But Sunny and Christina, especially Christina, girl, the child's name was Irene. You keep forgetting that you were giving that child to your sister. And she's sitting there talking about she want to keep Avery away from Ava. You are just trash. Always want to keep a parent away from their child. That's the same thing you did to TJ. And you will always be on my shit list for that until you apologize and acknowledge that crap. You sitting there talking about how you lost your daughter. You deserved it for sitting there trying to steal somebody else's privilege of being a parent. You didn't give a damn about TJ and his feelings, that he was the other half of this child that you love so much. You were going to do whatever you could to keep that baby in your family with no acknowledgement that that child had a whole other half of their lineage, their heritage, biology. And I can't with her. I can't with her. There's something, I can't. I just absolutely can't. And I'm really disappointed that the show did not give a voice to the male perspective on that, because men do get screwed over when it comes to children. They really do. And she was about to screw him over through the mud. But of course, we're not going to get that. So let me back off. I let it out because Lord have mercy. That girl. Moving ahead. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say moving ahead, but we'll see what happens with Cody and Molly, because they have shared scenes at least twice, because, Cody went to jail. Now, Lois and Brooklyn, I really do enjoy their mother-daughter relationship. They've always been close, and it's been beautiful to see. Also, Ned and Lois, they have a great relationship, and it speaks volumes, because in real life the actors were married at one point, and for them to continue to still have a good relationship where they can work in real life and on screen, that's just phenomenal. So it'll be very interesting. Tess. So it'll be very interesting to see the effects of Lois not being forthcoming with Brooklyn, and even Ned. Ned is completely in the dark. Ned didn't know anything about this, so it's just going to be very interesting to see how this is all digested, especially with Tracy around. I'm glad we have Tracy on canvas as the stand-in matriarch of the family. We haven't officially given her that title because Monica is still upstairs right now. It'll be very interesting to see how Tracy reacts to the fact that Gio is her grandson. Oh Lord. Woo! What? I know that, I mean, granted, I'm not really all that sure that this was necessary or needed, but of course we all see the potential and the writing and what scenes are going to come out of all of this. Is you mean to tell me she couldn't tell that Brooklyn was pregnant? You mean but I think the only reason why she didn't know Brooklyn was pregnant is because Brooklyn was, I think, primarily or for the most of her life was raised in Bensonhurst with Lois. I don't Tracy and Brooklyn weren't really ever close. If I remember when Brooklyn, I think it was around Lila's funeral. 2004 was when Tracy made a return to the show, and they did have a different version of Brooklyn. She was a teenager. I also believe they had a different woman playing Lois at the time. And Tracy wasn't sold on Brooklyn back then. from what I remember. So that's the only reason why Tracy and Ned wouldn't know. She's going to be very interesting. Also to see how Gio handles it. I'm glad that he does have Emma. It seems as though they were trying to do something with Trina and Gio, but I think that Gio and Emma, I want to see more of that. I'm okay with that. I am. Emma is something else. I don't know what to make of her, but again, I do like that she makes Anna a little more fun. We could see Anna in grandma mode, see see Anna with family, because Anna is kind of a little lonely. I mean, of course she has Felicia and the Joneses and the Scorpios. We know that. But like it's kind of like a touch of Robin. Emma's her own person, but I do like the energy that she brings to Anna. Maxie, what do you mean? I do like that Kristen clearly looks so much healthier. I like that her fashion has definitely increased. I don't know who in the show has been listening, but Maxie Jones is looking so fabulous and good. It's so wonderful that they've decided to uh, reinvest in her wardrobe in a great way. She looks great. Um, it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. Also, uh, I still think she should tell Chase. Because you know it's gonna come out, especially if she's talking about it. And it's definitely probably gonna cross Cody's mind, because Cody was like, that was a whole lifetime ago. Why are you bringing this up? I do wonder how that truth will come out. I do feel for Chase. Chase, I am so sorry to hear that you cannot have children. Oh, does this seem like a rehash of Molly and TJ's paternity woes to me? That's the first thing I thought about. I was like, this kind of is giving Molly and TJ, except Chase is the one who can't have a baby. I mean, I'm sorry, Chase isn't the one who can, has swimmers. Uh, I feel like, Chase and Brooklyn are probably going to have a better written story than TJ and Molly. I heard a rumor that they're bringing Sam back. Uh, I haven't heard that rumor, and we still haven't heard from Kelly Monaco. I want to say that, like, I don't know what she wants. What's going to happen in Kai and Trina's future? Travois, Did you see today's show? Who is that friend of Trina's? I can't remember the friend's name, but he was on today, and a lot of people were saying that they like the chemistry. What is his name? They said that they like the chemistry between the two of them more than they like the chemistry between Trina and Kai. Did you see that? What is his name? Is it Owen? Quinn. I'm sorry. Thank you. What do you think about Quinn? Because some people were saying that they liked how they liked the vibes between them. But I'm still not. I'm watching. I'm watching. I haven't decided. Uh, don't know where this is all headed. Chase needs to know about Brooklyn's baby with Dante before they can take the next step. Also, I want to, we need to remind the show that adoption can be a wonderful thing. When was the last, never mind, I don't even want to ask that question, because Lord. Uh, but, uh, um, but adoption is a wonderful thing. I know that they want to have a child of their own, but adoption can be good, and also it can be challenging. I'm adopted, and it wasn't an easy path, but my mother says it was worth it. And the way that my life and my brother's life, who was also adopted, I mean, just wonderful people, just wonderful life that they did give us. So adoption is an option. Discuss that. Or will they go the route of a surrogate? Oh Lord, I don't want another surrogacy storyline. I don't. Hey, Deborah. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how they navigate this path forward. But right now, they are strong together. But Brooklyn should tell him. But I understand that if she tells Chase, then Chase, how is he going to feel not telling Dante, who's his partner? So there's a lot of fine lines, and Brooklyn was talking about how she didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, and Lois just looks so guilty. And I was just thinking, oh, this is one of my favorite mother-daughter relationships right here. And it's really gonna take a hit with this one. Or, I'm not sure how it will go. I mean, how would you feel if you knew that you gave a child up and you were wondering about this child, maybe, I mean, not maybe, but their whole lives, and wondered what happened. And your mother knew where they were the whole time. Not only that, but that they helped to invite them to your current home, and that you've been living with them for more than a year and didn't know. How would you feel if, to find that out, that your mom withheld that from you? I'm sure they'll get over it, but whew, that's heavy. That's heavy, and it makes for good TV. And I'm watching every bit of it. It'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out. There was, I'm trying to regain my thought. So it's been nice though that there's been a little, I wouldn't say complete calm, but I'm glad that towards the end of last week's episodes, we kind of got a little reprieve from both Willow and Drew being in the same room. I agree with Tracy. Drew is banned from the property. But Ned was sitting there talking about, oh, take it easy on Willow. No, we're not taking it easy on her. No, okay. I'm glad that she's back at the property. Drew don't need to be there. Nina, you need to tell your daughter the truth. I saw this week's promo. You don't need Carly's help. I will say that I have always wanted to see these two women team up for a good cause, because they're two powerhouse people. How could you not? If we got Nina and Ava, give us Nina and Carly, okay? Or Carly and Nina, however you want to put it. They ain't got to be friends, but I'm not going to lie. I have wanted to see these two women collaborate on something. Chase wants to try IVF or other options like that so they can be, Brooklyn can be pregnant, which I don't know how he really feels about it and needs to know so they can make a decision together, right? And even if IVF doesn't work, adoption is still an option, but I don't begrudge them for wanting a biological child. I mean, it's just a natural sensation. So I don't, and then they do have the money for it, which is another blessing, because those kind of treatments, from what I've heard, could be expensive. I did have to see a fertility specialist when I got pregnant with Layla. So, and I'm just glad that it didn't get that far, because it costed for those prescriptions, and also for every time we met up with the doctor, to do ultrasounds. So they're blessed that they have the money for it. Can we ban Drew from the show? Yes, Sunny's heart. Oh, I will double back to that. I'm sorry. Let me get back to what I was saying. I'm just glad that Nina, you don't need Carly to help you, though. I will say that seeing these two women not shooting shots and maybe coming together for a worthy cause has piqued my interest. But all you don't need her. Why don't you just tell her? I get it. She doesn't want to ruin things, but girl, you're holding some power in your hands. You are. I think again, she doesn't want to say it because Drew can expose the fact that the two of them were pretty much colluding with each other. So Drew can kind of manipulate Willow into forgiving Nina and giving Nina a chance. But I still feel like she just needs to trust that you are mom. Drew is for now. Mom is forever. And like Ava has honestly told you, girl, you need to build that relationship with your daughter, that confidence. So you should tell her. I would, but you know how things go in this world. The truth does not come out until it's out of the hands of the person who's withholding the secret. That's always how it goes. But it'll be very interesting to see this conversation between Carly and Nina this week. Did Sunny make it to LA yet? Rick peeped that something is going on with Sunny. I do enjoy seeing Rick back on canvas. I'm glad that Ava has a strong ally in Rick, uh, as far as this custody battle goes. It was just very interesting, the proposition that they placed out. Again, come on, y'all go. I hope she emancipates herself, because she needs to get away from the two of y'all for real. um but it'll be interesting to see how Sunny's progresses, with this condition. How, I don't believe he made it to Christina's grand reopening of Charlie's because of his heart. Natalia was there and she helped him. How what is the temperature check with Natalia? Has anyone thawed any more to her, or do we still feel like she can just go on? I read an article which said that many people still don't feel like there's enough chemistry for her to remain, at least for the character to remain. I enjoy seeing Rick back on GH. If anything, it would have really been cool if they could have gotten the rights to her character, when she played Maria Santos, this had her be a doctor in General Hospital. But she can go away. Deborah says she can go. But it still seems like they're really trying to redeem her from that unfortunate, display of intolerance that she had with her daughter and her relationship with Christina. A lot of people are not here for Natalia still, and I don't know what can be done to redeem her, but they've tried. They tried with, I think they tried with having her lie on the stand for Christina. There have been other ways, but that was one of the biggest ways. Uh, so that so that's that. Um, Let me see here. There's just so much that goes on the show. Um, Curtis Ashford. I'm very glad that first of all, I love seeing him rock a suit everywhere he goes these days. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look the part. And not only does he look the part, but I feel like he has definitely grown into this persona. And I'm here for the growth. I like that he's standing his ground. I like that he's calling Drew out on his BS and that he will not be played with. Okay, Curtis, I appreciate the character growth. Now, one thing I will say, I don't like Eva. She could go back to all my. Did the actor playing Brennan leave? Yes, he did. Apparently, it was his choice, and he did. I'm gonna watch their scenes. Do you think that with the new actor in place, that the relationship can be salvaged? Do you think it's going to take time for this version of Carly and Brennan to reestablish that chemistry? And then also, I heard that he doesn't have that Australian accent that made a lot of people wish that he was actually a Jax recast instead. So this is going to be an adjustment for people. I am here to watch it all. So we will see how this unfolds. But many folks are disappointed that the actor who originated the role of Jack is no longer in the role. And I completely understand why. But Curtis, I will give the show credit where it's due, because it took a long time for them to invest in characters of color. Sunny to me is the exception. I mean, to me, when I see Sonny Corinthos or Maurice Bernard, I see a person of color. I can't say that I know his nationality to know that to be true, but that's what I assume. And he has been in a lead role for decades. So it's just so refreshing to see Curtis isn't somebody that just popped up overnight. This has taken years of development, and they have stuck with it. The same thing with Jordan Ashford. I hope she gets some happiness with Isaiah. I hope this is the beginning of seeing Isaiah have longevity, because Jordan's love interests don't really last. Curtis is the exception, but Sean is gone. Andre, who was a favorite, is gone too. So we'll see how this plays out. No, that guy had moxie, and that chemistry with Carly is undeniable. Yeah. So I can give the show credit where it's due. I'm glad that they've decided to invest long term in the Ashfords, and that I am enjoying seeing Curtis in boss mode. I hope to continue seeing this. It's just very refreshing. I loved it. I love those scenes at the gym, especially when Drew was like, "Oh, let's go in the ring and let's do it." A lot of us was like, "Okay, you ready for another knockout? You ready for another?" So this is very interesting. I believe that like anybody can get over things. Drew. The thing is, Drew's not wrong to say that the Quartermains have done some outlandish stuff that'll put what he's done to shame. The thing is that it's not about what they did. We're talking about what you're doing right now. You're continuing to pursue a relationship with your nephew's wife. And if this were happening to Drew, he would absolutely want the family to back him up and remove that other family member from off the premises. He would want his family to support him. It's just, and he doesn't want to accept accountability for that, because if he accepts accountability, it does hurt the ego. And not only that, but he would have to let go of what he wants, and that's Willow right now. He's very fixated on her. I will say it was great to finally hear him talk something about politics and him being a congressman and, Capitol Hill when he was talking to Jordan and Curtis. Focus a little more on that. I understand that the children on GH, they have to go to school, it has to be in the budget and it doesn't always work out. I still want to see Scout. I've just noticed that we have not seen Scout and it's been about 2 to 3 months since we've seen Scout. And I just want to hear from her perspective, honestly. I really do. The promo shows, and Alexis, this is another thing. Drew should know too. Why? Nobody even mentioned Drew. But I don't think nobody wants to deal with Drew. But Drew should know about what happened to Sam, only because who's going to break the news to Scout? I noticed in the promo this week, Alexis was with Danny. It looks like the Davis sisters are with Danny. I think Jason should have absolutely been with Danny, but we know Jason isn't even in town because they've got him too preoccupied with somebody else's child. And that's another reason why I am not down with this idea of him being wrapped up in this paternity story with Sasha. Because I'd rather see him involved with his son and getting justice for Sam. That's my personal opinion. And I believe Jason should be there when his son learns that his mother was murdered. Personal opinion. Drew barely cared that Sam died, so I don't think they care to tell him. Tess, I think you're right. I absolutely think you're right. Jason needs to mind after Danny. Yeah, Julie. But I think you're right. I don't think anybody really want to mess with him. But I just, who's there for Scout? Even if we can't see it, because again, the children's schedule is probably not as available, but I want to hear like the Davis girls say, "Oh, we were just with Scout." Like, who in the family is being there for Scout? I see all the advocacy that Tracy is having for Wiley and Amelia, but who's looking out for Scout? Ah, do you think it could be true? Oh my. Oh, okay. She should be with them. She really should. It's so unfortunate, the situation. On the one hand, it's like Drew should let Scout stay at the Quartermains, but if he did that, wouldn't that make him look bad because he's not with his daughter? So he can't do that. He can't. I wouldn't recommend him doing that. No, if you can't go there, then I mean, not to live there, but I would at least like to hear some dialogue that he's getting. Maybe we'll hear it from Danny this week that he's been with Scout. He's been, I just want to hear an update on Scout. He really doesn't. I I saw the preview for tomorrow's episode, and Drew has made his way into the cottage on Quartermain property. I am so livid. Where is Yuri? Throw his butt off the property, please. I'm so, I'm so sick of these two. So sick of them. Oh, Jesus, no shame whatsoever. Disgusting. Drew used Scout to make himself look like a human being, pretty much. Just throw him out. But I'm trying to recollect, but there's a lot to be enjoying on the show right now. I'm loving it. We'll see how things continue to progress, and if Jocelyn will get justice. Trina, okay. I know that I'm not sure if Travois is still here, or is anyone dedicated to following Trina's story right now? And I guess her reconstruction era. I've seen some comments where folks aren't really, Alexis should get custody of Scout because Drew only seems to use her. We'll see if that happens. One thing about Alexis is that she certainly does have a lot on her plate when you think about it. Because if you add her concern for Scout, I'm pretty sure she probably is more relaxed about Danny because Danny's at the Quartermains and, Dante and the whole bit. But, you think about Scout and then you think about Sam's death, I mean, that's a lot. I will say I'm very proud of her that she didn't take a drink because that's enough to drive somebody to the bottle. But she's continuing to honor Sam. Trina knows she can go to. And the thing is I guess I'm neutral. Like I'm with you. Like she can go, but then it's like I guess I want to see her rise above and be a lead, but I'm watching. There's a lot of mixed reactions about Trina. A lot of people say they don't care about her and Kai. A lot of people have said they do not care about whether, a lot of people have said they don't care about whether or not Kai can play football again. They're like, I don't care about this man playing football. You like what? Like, who is he? Who is he anyway that I should care about him not playing football? I understand. In the moment, we don't care. And then also they don't, a lot of people are saying they don't like the way, there's no reason they can't write a better storyline for Trina. Also, a lot of folks kind of don't feel like he's talking to her in a way that they enjoy. Like he's being rude and mean and stuff like that. He just suffered a loss as far as his football career, so I guess he should be crabby. I think I'm not sold on him being a cutie. That's what I will say. I am not like, whoo, Kai. That's just, that's me personally. Quinn has more potential for that than Kai. But we will just have to see where this is going. They didn't get us attached to him before he got hurt. That part test. That's really the key, is the lack of connection. Maybe all of this will set the groundwork for us to feel that connection later on. That's very possible. One thing that I did say though, on not with everything else going on with other characters, what I will say is I did make this post on X because we were having this discussion about Kai and Trina, especially, with the connection, as you mentioned. And the Kai actor just doesn't look like an athlete. I've heard that too from other folks. Is it just he's not bulky enough? He looks more like he should play basketball if he were to play a sport. But I'll get back to my point before I lose it. But I was saying that the reason why Trina and Spencer, or Sprina, worked for their fan base, and they have a fan base still who misses them, is because, one, we had time with Trina. I still prefer Trina, who was played by Sydney Michaela. That is just me. However, she was an established character. We were able to see her build up her relationships. We saw we saw her relate, we saw Trina. She was with Jocelyn and Oscar, Cameron and her. So we had time to see Trina, and we liked Trina. So we developed that connection with Trina. Then when Spencer came back, Spencer's a whole nother ball game because Spencer has more capital as a character than Trina. And when I say capital, I'm meaning as far as family ties. Yeah, family ties. We care and gave a damn about Spencer because that's Laura's grandson. That's Nicholas's son. That's Sonny's nephew. I mean, he's related to Alexis, Sam. I mean, the list goes on and on. He was very well connected character with rich history from the characters that came before him. So he had a lot of capital as a character. So whoever he was paired with was going to benefit from that as well. So that's why Trina and Spencer were able to work. Now with Trina and Kai, Trina doesn't have enough capital on her own to make us interested or even care about Kai. She can't do it by herself. It's just not going to happen, you know? So it's just, there's a lot of work to be done. I will say that I do commend them for trying because that has been something that I and many others have complained about, that they don't care about characters of color. There's still work to be done, but I appreciate that they didn't just get rid of her. They're still trying, but I don't know whether it'll be successful or not. I don't know. I mean, short of them recasting Spencer and bringing him back and creating some type of love triangle, I mean, at that point, I think the fans would love, because the actor who played Spencer recently, he's on the red carpet at Hollywood events. We're not getting him back. So if Spencer is definitely going to have to be recasted at this point. So I think fans would definitely prefer. Oh, there's a store up here in Columbus called Fashion Discount Warehouse, I don't know if I'm saying that in the right order, but they had it for Halloween, like the little onesies. So I copped me one. It's Winnie the Pooh. It's Winnie the Pooh. Trina jumping into Spencer's arms. Yeah. So people will definitely tune in if they bring Spencer back. And the only thing I will say about that is it's unfortunate that in order to make Trina relevant, they have to attach her to a relationship, because I mean, that's what we're saying at this point, aren't we? They brought in, it seems like maybe Gio was brought in at first. That didn't really land. So now we have Kai. That's not really landing either. But then if we say bringing Spencer back, then that means that she's not able to be her own woman and be a lead. And I very much would like to see, for once on this soap opera, whether it's a man or a woman, and it's just, and I'm sorry, I know it's not just, I want to see a qualified person. I don't know if y'all be looking at the news, but there's a lot of stuff going on with DEI, that diversity, equity, inclusion. I'm probably saying that wrong, so I don't want to get mixed up in that. But I do it. Seeing things do matter, and these people are qualified. Okay, they are qualified. But I would like it doesn't even have to be Trina. Jordan has been on the show. The character of Jordan has been on for at least 10 years now, and they're keeping her around, but it's like they've got her in a holding pattern. I don't even know how you can write her into a lead, but why not? But it's like Laura Wright gets all of those meaty stories, and we love Carly. Don't get me wrong, honey. She tears it up. I love me some Carly Corinthos played by Laura Wright. Yes, ma'am. But I kind of wish that Jordan could get that same treatment, And the character has been on the show for a long time. So we'll just have to see. Let's see Trina run the gallery for Ava and or put her on a huge money making show, her in boss mode solving problems. It's cool because at least they don't have Trina on her back being a slut. I will say at least the development hasn't been disrespectful to any of the women of color on the show. I thank them for that. I also thank them for not portraying us as ghetto, uneducated hood rats. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm also glad that they're, they portray us. Trina got a job. She's getting an education. She's well spoken, well groomed, level headed. Very great components for a great character, a great lead, Hopefully we can see her grow into it because to me, Curtis is growing into the role of a lead. I just wonder if they'll really give it to him because when I say his character development, him strutting around being the CEO of Aurora and not taking no mess from Drew and sitting here calling his ass out. Oh, yes. I love to see it. But I'm going to let you all go tonight. I'm going to kick back and relax as much as I possibly can. And I hope you all enjoyed this live. I will do my best to be back on time with the live stream next Sunday. Just had some things going on in my life. All good things. But and hopefully I'll be able to talk about them at a later time. But you all have a wonderful evening. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye.